Yeah, it's a startup, so hopefully everything goes well. And if not goes well, yeah, we will still do our best to grow the business basically. Okay, and what is my superpower? I think my superpower is I'm just happy to be myself, I think. Because that's the very key for us to develop, right? We have to accept our weaknesses and how we grow. Okay, maybe I just would like to share a little bit my career journey. I may say it a little bit very good, and maybe next. So in total, I already spent around 12 years basically working as an employee, and I'm starting as a supply chain basically. Supply chain analyze staff level in Wings, Sayap Mas Utama. Yeah, we all know the product, right? Yeah, I spent 9 months there. Okay, after 9 months, I'm not strong enough. I work almost 7 times 24 hours, but then the opportunity comes from Johnson& Johnson. I'm working at that time. There's a change between supply chain to become a business, like business development. But the product for Johnson& Johnson, maybe you use some recognized for Listerine, Justice Baby, Clean and Clear, Mylanta, Vicin, and so on. So I have to handle certain areas, and then I get some awards. Afterwards, lots of opportunity comes for me from the Ferrero. So I move from the staff level and move to the next level. From Ferrero, I move again to Colgate, and then I move again to Subam, and then I move again currently to Osafe. So actually, some saying to me, I'm moving too fast. And honestly, yes, I'm moving too fast. So the last time, maybe next. So I will go one by one just to share everything. So maybe we can share and you also can share to me. We can learn together. First, I'm working as supply chain analyst in Wings. Basically, what is my performance there? I hitting my KPI. In supply chain, the point is I have to ensure the right product is available in the right time, at the right quantity, in the right place. So it's a very simple KPI. But to do this, I have to coordinate with many divisions. PPIC, demand planning, logistic, and I will be the one that who is communicating with all of those. But actually, again, I want to share something. This is more to the technical industry, basically. Usually people that is graduate from technical industry will go for fulfillment. But honestly, I was graduated from biotechnology at Majaya, so a little bit far. And honestly, again, I don't have hard skill for doing this job because what I learned is more to biotechnology, right? DNA, how to clone, how to make fish glowing in the dark. Very far from what I'm doing here, right? But yeah, that's life. Because in biotechnology, I find that maybe it's not the right passion for me. So I step ahead from what I'm doing, and then I get opportunity in Wings to do the supply chain. Okay. In Wings also, regardless I'm just a newbie there, I get opportunity to handle a very big factory. So in Sayap Mas, one of the important things is daya and also economy. It is the backbone of the company. So I was handled that, and I have to ensure all the product is distributed very well. At that time, it was mentioned, maybe I'm the youngest one to handle that job, that role. Yeah, but no change in salary, okay? No improvement in salary, just a bigger responsibility. Therefore,
So how do you feel?
nah,
More job, same pay.
the answer is basically, yeah, it's okay. Because I learn more, I know my value is not yet there, but and I'm starting as a biotechnology. What I saw, I'm focused on, oh, my boss trusts me, that's it. Hopefully later my salary increase, hopefully. But I feel like, okay, the boss trusts me, I have to repay the trust. That's, I think, what drives me. Yeah, regardless all the responsibilities, yeah. And honestly, in Wings, in Sayap Mas Utama, the culture is very, very strong in terms of discipline. So I also, this is something that I want to share. I get killer leader. He's currently already become the logistic director of Wings. One of, yeah, the owner is very trust him. And honestly, I learned a lot from him. At some point, as a newbie, as a new employer, I feel it's very hard to communicate with him. Yeah, because I have to understand everything and has to be able to translate everything to him because the level is very high. I 22, I think. 22 years old. Yeah, so, but again, by his name is Pak Billy, basically. Yeah. The name is Pak Billy. If I look back to my history, look back to my past, meeting him is one of the blessing. Why? Because my ethics in working changed a lot from I'm doing my university and working professional in Wings. I learned about discipline and work ethics. And the last one is basically fundamental things. My boss is always telling me that do not point to others. Meaning if we have KPI, we have something to achieve, just do our best. Do not point or yeah, maybe we scold or we complain to others. Because every time we point to others, one of our finger go to the other person, but the other fingers back to us, right? So it's more like be accountable, not only responsible, but accountable for what is trusted for us. What's next? Basically, after working around 9 months, I feel like, honestly, I need additional salary. And at that time, I also see my senior in the company. It's very hard to get adjustment. Okay, and I'm also thinking in my heart, hopefully I can go to multinationals. One point that also impacting me is because lots of my friends already go to multinationals. I'm going to the local company. So I think for me, if there's any opportunity, let's do it. And the good things is one of my friends refer me, and I get opportunity to following all the interview to another company. So yeah, this is the next point that I want to highlight. Also, there's push factor. So there's a pull factor because my friend give me some referral to Johnson & Johnson Indonesia. The product is, as I mentioned, clean and clear, Listerine. But at another point, there's some push factor from my side. So I take decision to go to another level, basically. Then I'm joining in Johnson & Johnson Indonesia. The result is, I'm working here 2 years, basically. First year, I'm handling area, Tangerang and Serang, basically. So I have to manage all the business there. I have to ensure the profit, the growth, and so on, distribution, perfume, also very, yeah, almost like FMCG lah. So I also have to communicate also with the distributors. So at that time, I think 23 years, but I have to communicate with all people that is older than me. I think one learning that is very important is how to be able to communicate with the older people, being respectful, and the other way, we also have to earn their respect. So I'm started in Johnson & Johnson. My title is basically like management trainee. Okay, it's like maybe everyone knows about management trainee, but when I have to handle Serang and Tangerang area, they give me name card, and the name card is for business development executive. So it's not like a not a management trainee. So I was expected to do more again. Okay, and then within 1 year, actually the sales is increased strongly from minus to become plus, and I do lots of fundamentals improvement, relationship with the customer improve, and so on. Then I get opportunity to manage maybe if you know, Giant supermarket, Giant, Guardian, Hero, already bankrupt. But at that time, it was very important. It was very important at that year. So I manage that account. I have to, again, ensure the business improving and all the fundamentals is going. And in my second year, I get the reward from a company acknowledgement as best sales manager. But my title, management trainee,
So you were in operations, both operations and sales as well
yes,
at the same time.
at the same time. Okay. Again, I mean, in my life, it's always been like that. Job decks or the role higher than the title and the rewards. But as for me, it's a learning phase, and it was very important for me. Now, I want to share what is very important in Johnson & Johnson and what makes me able to get also the best sales manager, regardless I'm not manager even, just a newbie with 1.5 year experiences. It's because I find someone who, my direct report is very, very inspiring. He's the one that will always scold at you, but in front of everyone, he will always protect you as a team. Yeah, even the directors, even the customers complain, he will protect us. And he will always say, whatever you do wrong, it's my wrong. Wah, and his name is basically Sutrisnatan. From Johnson & Johnson, he was moving to several company, become director, Electrolux, and yeah, so many company lah. See, he's also moving, and always become director. His leadership skill is something that changed my my way of working and my way of thinking. It's not easy to find this one, right? This is what I gained in Johnson & Johnson, basically great company culture. Okay, also balance of life, basically. Then I also learned in my second year, despite I already get the best sales manager in the first year, in the second year, actually, the performance of Giant is not as good as before. But the way I communicate the improvement is something that is more important than the result. So I also learn here. Sometimes we see the result is not good, but if we can communicate it well to the management, they can see it as, oh, you have done your best. There's many things, many factors that you cannot control, but you do your best in your part. So I think this also being taught by my leader. Therefore, it's very important for us. Yeah, hopefully all of us also have that role model. From Ferrero Asia.
Chocolate boys,
Chocolate, Kinder Joy boys, girls,
boys chocolate. Different.
Ferrero Rocher, the gold one, for Valentine,
Okay.
the expensive one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
that's Ferrero.
popular in Singapore.
It is.
Yeah.
Chinese and
In
Chinese
Malaysia
New Year.
as well.
Yeah.
Chinese New Year.
But we cannot defeat sales from Singapore. Despite our Indonesia is very big, yeah, we cannot defeat the sales.
That's a
For
different-
Ferrero Singapore is very huge.
Maybe because Chinese New Year and Valentine.
Also, their buying purchase is very strong
I see.
compared to ours. So at that time, imagine I was working from local conglomerate. The company is very big, yeah, very rigid, very big. Then moved to Johnson & Johnson. It's a bit smaller, but still have 100 people more. But here in Ferrero Asia at that time, I start with only 4 people. I'm the 4th one. I'm the youngest one at that time.
Wow.
So the result, basically, I worked also 2 years there in Ferrero. And Ferrero in Indonesia at that time doesn't have entity yet. So we are like representative, but directly managed from the Singapore. Now, another thing, I think, yeah, in my personal opinion, Johnson & Johnson, I find a very good leader named Sutrisnatan. In Ferrero, I find another one named Pak Oskada Mani. He's also moving to many companies now. British American Tobacco, then move again to Olam. Olam currently a very big B2B player. I want to share one experience basically. So at that time Ferrero only has 3 people and has to manage the Indonesian market. We are supported by a very good distributors. Maybe if you know Sukanda Jaya Diamond Group basically. At that time they want to grow and they're looking for someone to specifically handle accounts, like again Giant and so on, because that was my experience in Johnson & Johnson. So I'm following the interview, I very remember there's not only me that is being interviewed, but also someone, my friend from Johnson & Johnson, interviewed for this position. So at that time when I communicate with Pak Oscar Damanik, I mentioned, Pak, if you want to, sorry, I'm not honest, because before offering there are lots of meetings and also interview with the director level of Ferrero, but I'm not mentioning I already work there. So when it's already one-on-one and he already give me offering letter, I said, sir, if you want to dismiss it, it's okay for me. And honestly, I already work for Soho. I feel it's not fair if I'm not telling you this. Yeah, but Pak Oscar Damanik is a very kind person, and he's mentioning, yeah, it's okay, Phil, he said. This is what we want. We don't want to find someone who has behind something behind the agenda, something behind. So we want to find someone who is trustful. That's the key. And at that time, he mentioned to me, I also hire you for this senior manager level. Regardless, I was only executive before, management trainee, finish, executive is only assistant manager. But in Ferrero, I was offered as a senior manager. So it's a double jump. It's not because of your skill, but it's because I saw potential in you. Oh, for the youngsters, I feel like this man is very inspiring. And when I'm joining it, he already know my work, and I also communicate very well with him. I can see why he's become a very good leader. He's very inspiring and very helpful. Never ever blame the employee. Somehow this Pak Oscar Damanik also was from Johnson & Johnson. So we have one like principles that, yeah, again, as a leader we have to lead examples, not only pointing, but how to grow the people. Now after handling Ferrero for around 2 years, I moved to Colgate Group. Maybe if you ever heard Darlie, it was a toothpaste, very strong in mint. I get this opportunity now. It's no longer helped by my friend, but it's now supported by headhunter, honestly. So to be honest with you, this job happens because of the help of another firm, headhunter. So they are the one that will push the talent to get better job or better opportunities. Yeah, thankfully, we shine. I think also can help people in that area, to help people from Indonesia to work also with the client from Singapore and so on and so on. So I'm very thankful with that kind of that kind of work, that kind of industry basically that is being created. Before it was very hard, right, to get opportunity outside. Okay, I work as there's another incremental in terms of my positions. Now I have to become the national key account managers. I have to manage people, and I have to contribute almost 100% of the total business. I worked the longest time in here, 4 years. So finally, after 9 months, 2 years, 4 years. This is the longest one. 2 years I managed the national key account, and another 2 years actually I handle for head of sales and acting as a country manager at that time, because again country manager is Pakan, so I have to manage everything. Yeah, what is the achievement? Basically double the business within 3 years. The business was not so big at that time, only around 50 billion to become 100 billion. The team is growing, the fundamental is growing, and it was a very good information from my friend. He called me that he mentioned Darlie business now in Indonesia is already very improved, because we also listed in Indomaret. It's very improving the sales, it's very improving in terms of profits. And the people, we can hire more and we can do more activity in the social media and so on and so on. Yeah, so it's a good thing lah, basically. Yeah. Nah, What I want to highlight in this opportunity when I'm working in Colgate is I was given a task that is very hard, very big, maintaining, sustain all the business. This is also my first time to manage around 6 people and mix. Some junior, some is already senior manager. So I think it's a learning phase for me also, from someone who is focused for single contributor to become a leader. So yeah, honestly, I'm not so good at that moment. I'm very strict. I get lots of inputs because I have a culture that being accountable. Okay, so I push my team also being accountable. But we cannot do like that. I have to develop step by step. But it's okay. I accept all the criticism from the Southeast Asia Sales Director for me, and slowly I improve. Network is impactful because I get this job also from my network, my friends. But he's working in Atlanta. But afterwards, when I have to handle something very big, all my friends help me so I can grow the business. I can execute something that is not planned before because lots of people support me. Okay, what I get basically huge and wealthy in terms of experiences, also being criticized for what my weakness is. Yeah, it's good. If not, I never know my weaknesses, right? Okay, and then learn to do the possible in the work, basically. Okay. Now, I have one perspective in this at that moment, basically. Because my country manager is no longer exists at that time, vacant for around 1.5 years. I manage all. And honestly, I was promised to become the country manager if I able to prove. And at that time, if only we see the result, I think I already hit it. But I also, when I try to reflect, yeah, but I get lots of complaint from my team and so on because I was too strong, too strict to them. Yeah, okay. And somehow, the one that promised me, the Southeast Asia Sales Director, moved out from Darli. Then all the plan is changed. New country manager is coming, and at that time, I think, yeah, if there's another opportunity for me as a country manager, why not? Because I already doing that, right? Therefore, again, I moved to Good Pharma Dermatology. So this is a startup company. Colgate is already a very big group, okay? But in Indonesia, very small. My job is to grow it. But Good Pharma itself, it was a skincare from Singapore. Maybe if you recognize National Skin Center Singapore, the one that create the product named Subam is Dr. Tay from National Skin Center Singapore. Okay, then Dr. Tay has like doing some business with my owners, with Pharma Dermatology. So they are the one that expand the business in every country, including Indonesia. I was hired by Good Pharma Dermatology. Now, in Good Pharma, the challenges is we already have the product, but we have nothing else than the product. We don't have office, we don't have anything, we don't have people. Our BPOM license is also challenged at that time. We don't have sales, we don't have customers, and so on and so on. So actually in Good Pharma Dermatology, I start almost from zero, almost. So with all my knowledge and again the support from my network, I start the business step by step. The result is strong business improvement. We're able to be profitable in the first year.
What's your position?
Country manager. Country manager, but also like admin Facebook, social media also, like logistic also, sometimes deliver the product, almost all in all. Yes, so sometimes people will never recognize me as a country manager because I don't have domain also. But I will start from zero. In the first year, I worked here around 2 years, and in the second year, basically, we already become the third biggest country among the 7 countries that Good Pharma available there. So in Southeast Asia, we are only less from Singapore and Malaysia, despite we are the youngest country, because we are able to grow the business very well, baby shops, and then the connection with the modern trade. Yeah, because lots of experience before and lots of networking that helped me, it makes everything easier. So it's very important also for us to do the networking in the work, also after the work, right? So it helps a lot. Profitable in the first year, and so on, and strong growth. Okay, network does, again, I rephrase again, network does impactful. So it's very good opportunity for us to rejoining. We start to know each other. We don't know what future holds, right? Yeah, what I again do all, meaning learn all. Again, for me, learning is a very good things. Maybe the fruit you cannot directly feel it, but later we can feel the fruits.
Is that what you learn for marketing?
At that time, I mix everything, but not multi-level. So I sell to via doctors. So I have to create the team that has to manage the doctors, because it's like a skincare, but have a function to cure or to help in terms of atopic dermatitis. Okay, so I have to go to the doctors. Another thing, I also have lots of friends. For example, I also offer Stephen, his daughter, his daughter, for example, become my consumer, for example. Yeah, so it's like a little bit multi-level, because I also start to make a channel friends from friends. Somehow, at some point, I also give, for example, with you, I give you 10%, for example, but if you can sell to another person, I will give you another additional, for example, like that. So I try my best to use as small as I can in terms of budgets, but to produce the biggest profit. Including, at that time, COVID, digital ads is very impactful, Instagram and so on and so on. Yeah, I started to learn what I have to talk, and then create the way how we grab people that is not knowing Subang to become very triggered to know more. So at that time, after analyzing, many people do branding in terms of soft branding. Many people are doing that. Don't do hard selling, right? Many people doing that. But at the time when I thinking I don't have money, the company requests me to be profitable in the first year. I'm competing with Cetaphil. I'm competing with QV, someone that is already very big and has lots of money. So if I do soft selling, for me it was too hard. So I communicate with my team how we make it very clear before after effect of using this product, and then we make it as advertising. So in Facebook and Instagram, basically, usually you will be banned if you're doing that kind of promotion. But my team has an idea how to manage that, so we can still also push. Now, when the people see, for example, somehow you have the atopic dermatitis, because my ads start getting you, for example, you open in your Instagram, you click the photo before after, right? You click the photo, you will be want to know more, right? Now, usually other people will lead you directly to Tokopedia or Shopee. But marketplace to do the purchase. But for me, our cost is double than Cetaphil. Some people need to be very convinced. So what I do basically, I deliver them to another web page, our web page, that have lots of testimony. So I make people just see testimony lah. I don't do any good photos before after. Just make it. It is what it is.
As a person, that kind of my job as a journalist. So I put link like Tokopedia or Shopee. Is that kind of
Yes,
things that?
but but you are linked to the Tokopedia and Shopee.
Yeah.
But for me, when you click it, but my bed is the picture. When you click, you will go to my web page that is full of testimony.
So the person that told you about told audience about dermatitis and something, they're going to have a reward from you.
Oh no. So basically like this. Let's say I have dermatitis.
Yeah.
Because I already said in my Instagram and Facebook ads, I targeting people with with blah 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 blah. And let's say I am the one that get the picture in my Instagram when I'm scrolling. Somehow Subham showing up with the before after picture. Okay. Then it may trigger my thinking. It's the same condition with me. Why it can be cured so fast? Nah, I will be triggered, right? So I will click. Now, when I click, usually the other people will go to Tokopedia and Shopee directly. For me, no. I want to go to my webpage that is full of testimony, other people testimony, real, not fabricated. So sometimes the picture was very, very bad. The before is very, very bad.
People see the value of
The value of the product.
That's like he made it a content and he's integrate to their side.
Yeah.
People will see what is exactly that they were looking
Yeah.
for.
So people think it's a medicine, but actually it's only a lotion and a wash with a very high value.
Exactly.
Now after that, I'm still thinking people will not still convinced after lots of. So the next step, I put consultation so people can consult, and when they consult, they come to my WhatsApp.
It's free.
Huh?
It's free consultation.
And somehow I was from biotechnology before.
Also,
So
you
it
can
was
find
start
out
to
the-
link, yeah. So I can help people to answering what is do and don'ts and so on.
I see.
So I start to understand, yeah, maybe that's the reason I'm learning biotechnology, for example. Starting to answering step by step. After that, they buy. After they buy, they repeat, and so on and so on and so on. So that's how I manage the business at that time. With a very small cost, we can get lots of loyal customers that make the business very profitable. My learning here, again, communication skill is more important. Being right, the one that is right, yeah. Like just for example, sometimes we also have to wise in what we say and what we communicate. Yeah, I learned in the hard way. So at that time, despite become the country manager, yeah, with all the result, it was PHK, yeah, stop at that time. Nah, after that, darkness come. That's the darkness period of my life. Yeah, Stephen also know. I started doing my own business, but it was wrongly managed. I just investing to some companies that, yeah, my friend referred this man, he has some business, blah blah blah, and all of it is basically
How many?
apa ya? Fraud, scam.
How many business and what kind of business?
Around 13 business.
Wow.
Yeah,
What kind
stupid
of
business. So many. So what? Rental car, for example. So to make it simple, everyone just saying, I have a very good business. You can see my company, you can see my office, you can see blah 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 blah. I have the transaction here. This is the proof. Blah 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 blah. You just need to support me. I can return you blah 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 blah. And it happens. The return is very good only for 1 and 2 months. Then people gone. It's very hard to find. Yeah, some challenges, and
How do you do transactions with them? Online or you like-
online. I give transfer directly.
Ah, okay.
Because I was so naive like that time. I was so naive, and they are very good in terms of very sopan, very polite, for example, very religious at some point, talking about the religious things. Yeah, but in the end, it's all scam. So I
Local
think,
companies?
huh?
Are they local companies?
Local
Yes,
companies. Yeah, maybe even not companies, just a fake company that they create.
It could not be tracking,
Mm.
just be
Yeah.
fake info.
Yeah. But it's okay. I still alive.
That's the most important.
I'm trying my best. Yeah, but when I already almost have nothing, again for me, for myself, the learning is family. Family helped me a lot. I also do lots of church activity with Stephen basically. Yeah, but at the hardest time, family is the one that support everything for me. So
So at that time, yeah, what should I do? Yeah, working again or whatever. But at that time, I expect to have the same benefits given by Regu Pharma, and it's not easy to get a good company. Okay? Yeah, but somehow OSEF Management Corp, meaning OSEF Indonesia Management Corp, through Michael Page helped me. So finally, Michael Page is another headhunter basically. So I get the opportunities, and one of the thing is, yeah, I work here already almost 1 year. So all the darkness is there, still try to survive and to not yet able to finish all the excess from the problems, but step by step improving. Now in OSEF Management Corp, if you ask me what is your title, my title is only category manager. Okay, OSEF is retail. I was principal, so I was in the other side of the world. But in OSEF model is a little bit different. So category manager also already, in terms of status, is already director level. So I was reporting to Spain people, expatriate, and our CEO is from Germany, and the owner itself is from Germany. Yeah, hopefully one day if you come to Bekasi, we have lots of stores. Maybe you can see the difference between other companies here. Alfamart, Indomart, you can see how much we sell the products very, very cheap. Yeah, our hope, our big goal is to help people to reduce inflation even.
Cheap more than hari-hari?
Almost.
Wow.
Almost. Supermarket. But our model is like everyday low price. So I will tell you this, hari-hari sometimes in certain period will be very low.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's say the low is here in terms of price. Indomaret here. Let's say we always be here. Still a little bit high, but every day. For stable. For certain categories like oil, eggs, rice, we always even lower than hari-hari. So yeah, in Indonesia we are still investing in order to help people, because by reducing the price, we will have more people can buy affordable things and continue to import. Yeah, currently I already communicate, and my owner basically very young person from German, named Jonas Blay. He also know I already scam blah 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 blah. Yeah, but he simply, I think he give me opportunities. Again, I'm working at something that I don't understand as a category manager, different with the country manager, totally different, right? Yeah, but somehow at this moment I still hitting all the KPI and exceeding. So one of the KPI is I have to ensure I create product that can compete with the commercial brand. So for example, like this one Aqua, I have to create something that can compete with Aqua. Lower price, better quality, lower price. So people can start to understand the difference between OSEF and others. Yeah, overall, top 3 key points that I want to share, want to summarize is focus on what we have and be grateful and be the best of it. All of us have our own trajectory in terms of career. Our friends also, our peers, whoever like. But yeah, whatever it is, we have something, and let's just focus on what we have and grow. Yeah, second, this always happening to me. If you already do your best, yeah, because we are focused, doing the good things for the company, not for the person, not for our boss, but for the company, for example. Let's focus, and if your company is not good, slowly someone will give you a better benefits. Yeah, expand the network. It's very important. Just be still. If the opportunity is not yet there, just be still. Still doing good to you others, still doing best in your job, and in the end it will come. Last one, the one that makes me destroy, is unable to manage my communication well. Only at several times. So it's very important for us. Every time we have to manage our communication very, very well. And it is very impactful to grow ourselves or to destroy ourselves. I think that's it from me, the total key points that I can share. Hopefully it helps a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. Okay, we go to Q&A. Actually, I have a lot of questions. Maybe anyone wants to start first? Okay, then I'll go.
Me. I'll go.
Okay.
So, you've had a lot of experience where maybe you're given a business problem, right? Do this thing and get this KPI. How did you go about solving these problems?
Okay.
How are you always able to hit your KPI?
Yeah.
When many people cannot hit KPI,
Okay,
how do
maybe
you
it's
do it?
always as simple as first, I will always try to analyze what is happening in my company. For example, current condition, what is the current condition? What is the status quo? And what is the result? And in my mind, I will always have to understand what is my goal. So current condition and goals. Everything, the goals is very important. As we understand the business, we can say, oh, it should be like this, it should be like this. We have the goals. But to change the current to become the ideals that we want, this is how. This is what importance. Now, honestly, there's no direct answer. Let's just test and learn, test and learn, test and learn. Because we have to change status quo to something new to get a better result, right? If we just replicating the same, usually the result also the same. So I have to test and test and test. Yeah, thanks God. Honestly, thanks God. Every time I do test, it works. Honestly, I also think at some moment, maybe it's the grace of the God. At some point, so I cannot say it's 100% everything work out, but let's just test. If wrong, test again. Admit our mistake and try again. And I will give a very simple explanation. So for example, like this in Darling, Holy Hazel, Colgate Group. So basically it's already exists for 8 years in Indonesia, 2011 until 2019. Okay. Before in 1990, it was also existed, but out from Indonesia, come back in 2011, Darling. The condition at that time, the profit is minus. Regardless, the business is growing to become 50 billion per year. But the condition is minus. So what I'm doing is, I check everything. What minus meaning, minus in terms of profit meaning, we have sales, but we also spend money, right? Where we spend the money, I have to make it very clear. I have to break down. Oh, I spend to, for example, to Giant, I spend money to Indomaret, for example. I spend money to this and that. So from that, I have the idealism I have. Oh, I should invest more money to those who want to give me more benefits. I should take some money from those who doesn't want to give me benefits. Then I try to do that. So I start to take off some support that usually being given. So for example, like Giant lah, for example. Usually per year I give them, for example, 100 million rupiah, for example, for rental, for this and that. I take those 100 million, I give to, for example, Grand Laki. I give to Hari-Hari. The result was different. The result was different, very good, very encouraging, and we get more user. Now, so after that, what happens? Yeah, the user repeating. We get more consumer by allocating the right money. Now, how I can get those details? I have to spend time to analyze. Then contemplate a little bit, thinking. Let's try, something like that. So that's one of the example. The other example, sometimes what to hit the KPI is not based on our performance, but if we can make our team more effective. That's what another thing that I see. Yeah, at that time in Subang basically. I think in the second year our performance is very strong because as simple as I learned my leadership from Colgate was a little bit strong. Then in Subang I changed my leadership style to become more influenced, to let them do whatever they do, and whatever they do wrong, I will admit as mine, and we will improve later on. So I think by doing that, also the performance of the team is very good. One of my team is being acknowledged. He is handling digital marketing. He is acknowledged as the best digital marketing in Subang Group. So compared to other country also, yeah. It's not because of me, but I think because I changed my way of leadership, yeah, he can show his best. And I'm never mind if you are the one that being acknowledged by the company. I also feel happy. So I think that's the answer. We know to make it summary, we know the current condition, and we have to understand what we need to achieve. How to achieve it? Just test. Do test, something like that.
Anyone else?
Ya, I think karena semeja nggak usah.
Okay.
Ini saya mau nanya, what's your strategy? What's your strategy for your store? Kan baru di pinggiran Jakarta, nggak ada di Jakarta kan. Sedangkan your competitor sudah established kayak Alfa dan Indomaret. Kita tahu some of supermarket closing kayak Circle K, apa tuh yang 7-Eleven, ya. So what's your strategy? Because those supermarket juga bikin strategi ini kan apa like kayak evil things yang kayak kita pikir ya not so good ya untuk membasmi itu ya. So what's your strategy then?
Okay, I will answer very honest. Strategic will come from the management in OSAFE. Okay, I'm just playing my role as a category manager. So in OSAFE, my role is to ensure I get the best cost from all the suppliers. For example, we sell Aqua 600s in our stores, 2,000 rupiah.
That's expensive.
No, 600 milli.
2,000. 600 mil.
600 milli, 2,000 rupiah. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So that's our KPI. The strategy is from the management. They will do this and that, but they strongly enforce us as a category manager. Please bring something that is very unique. Please bring something that is very value added for the consumer. So for example, like that Aqua, the price is usually 1,000 something, 2,500. We can give 2,000. Okay, maybe I will have my own Aqua. Aqua misalkan Aqua.
I know.
Brand.
Better quality maybe like Miele Minerale but lower price. How to manage that? We need to have volume. Therefore, despite selling or not selling, good sales or not good sales, OSAFE willing to expand 8 years in a row. Every year it should be doubling, hundreds, thousand. So the investors already prepare for that. Now, what we do again is to ensure the OSAFE Indonesia has the right assortment. Yeah, for example, the right assortment meaning like this. If for wafer lah, for example, there is people that likes locker, very expensive, but there's someone who likes also
Bang.
Tango, let's say. Tango, because Bang is a wafer chocolate potted, right? So it's Tango, for example. My job is to ensure which one I need to present, locker to give the consumer, locker or Tango. Now Tango in Alfamart Indomaret is around 1,000. But for me, I can get the cost 4,500. That's the key of communication. Actually, I'm selling the promise. The promise that, so one of the things that we offer differently to the principal, if you list it in OSAFE, for example, Tango, I will never bring another competitor from you. Locker will not joining in. Terus, if you know, Nissin also have Nissin wafer, will never joining in. But please give me your best price. you will get a very good display and so on. And so we in our stores not selling so many products, very selective.
Indomaret and Alpha do the same. Like
Oh no, different. Alfamart has 3,000 products in the small space. Alfamart. Osef only offer 400 products. But the way we do the business different. So we don't offer so many choices. Just pick Tango, for example, but with a very good price. That's it. Then another thing is how we display our product. In Alfamart, Indomaret, it's only one pieces. So in terms of efficiency of working, it's a bit complex. So store people have to understand or have to order several times. The point is it is not effective. But for us, we display everything with one cartons directly. So the display will be very big. Principal will be very happy. For example, perfume. If your perfume listed in my stores and I put it in the very low bottom, despite your perfume maybe
it's not other perfume. Only 5.
yeah, for example like that. But my point is like visibility is also important, right? In the retail side, for example, I may buy your perfume, but I put in the lower part. No one will buy. But then I will say to you, I will return because not selling. You already lost money, and so on and so on and so on. And many other tricks basically to get money and return the product. But we don't do that. So we focus our space. I will give you a very big space, but you have to invest on us. So how to win? The strategic level is we have to ensure the assortment is right. One of the things that I'm trying to do is, for example, like Kinder Joy. Kinder Ferrero have product named Kinder Creamy. It's a new product. The price is 1,000. Kinder Creamy. Now I can find someone who has a quality like Kinder Creamy with price 1,000. With price 1,000. This is something that I don't do before, but now that is my job. Of to find the same quality, but the price was far lower, so people can enjoy, and hopefully it's exclusive for Osef. So people will not go to Hari Hari, will not go to Indomaret because it's only Osef. That's how we do the business. That's from the category side. In terms of strategic for another things, it's more like how we put our stores also. We are aiming not to be in the center of Jakarta. We don't want to fight with someone who is strong in Jakarta. We want to ensure the suburb, secondary cities. And actually, this model Osef, we are following Aldi from German. Aldi called hard discounter, the model of a store. And it started basically the hard discount retail because of World War II. Yeah, so this concept of stores that we replicate happens because of World War at that time. In Germany, they are growing very big, and the idea is to reduce the inflation. To make it simple, we sell a very low product, a very good quality with a very low cost, and our margin may be low, but we expect it to become very big, very big. Not only in Indonesia, therefore we also have operation in Philippines already 270 stores within 2 years. Osef. Maybe have you heard Dali?
Yeah.
Dali already exists 2 years. Now maybe already 4 years. Osef only 2 years. So if you check the Philippines, they will start to hear the noise from Osef. May not be the biggest yet because only 2 years. Now, not yet margin, not yet profitable, already Indonesia now. 3 months we already opened 15 stores. 1 year will be 70. Now we also preparing Vietnam. So one day when we already have the number of stores is very big, maybe we can start to find, for example, rice in Indonesia, lots of scarcity, hard to find. I think 2 months ago it happens. Very hard to find rice. Maybe because we have operation maybe later in Vietnam, in Vietnam is the producer of rice, right? So we can import directly with our brand. So we can start to monopoly a little bit, but again to bring the price and to give more to the consumer. Hopefully it can help.
So OSAFE is targeted Southeast Asia market.
Yeah, so we
Like
have group-
German boss, right?
Yes. So in in Southeast Asia, the name is OSAFE. In other continents, the name is different. Mexico, Tiendas 3B, different. Already number one. Colombia, Tiendas D1, if I'm not wrong. Another different name. But the group of investor was the same. Different continents, different name.
Okay. Anyone else? Maybe from me, what was the most critical or the hardest decision that you ever had to make in your career?
In career, yeah. Because in life many, yeah. Yeah, maybe in career I think the hardest decision. Hardest decision. Oh, okay, I get it. I have one experience that I'm very fucked up with my team. I'm very fucked up with someone who is, I think I paid very well, but not non-performing. And honestly, I'm rarely texting him after the office. Rare. Okay? But the attitude is, I don't want to answer your text after the office. I never been like that to my boss, but he's like that to me. At some point, I think the hardest decision is I want to retain or not this person. But at that time, I'm thinking again, reflecting again. If he fails, meaning I also fails. So I think that's something that is embedded, but from my leader to me. Meaning, if I cut him, I fail. That's something that I don't like at that time. So I think the hardest thing is to let him work. Let him work. That's the hardest thing. In the end, he's not performing. But I also have in my heart like, yeah, I have to help. Therefore, in the end, I cover him. Somehow, he's not resigning. He's happy, even I'm not happy, but I get another job. So win-win for both. Okay, somehow. That's the true story of me. So one of the things is to accept people that don't want to change. Now maybe.
But would you have, if now you reflect, would you have terminated him or her?
No.
Still no.
Still no. But maybe how I approach him, I will have lots of experience now, rather than before. Again, I think my leadership experience much more better in Subang. But I'm not good at managing the boss at Subang. In Darli, in Colgate, Ferrero, I'm very good in managing the boss. But I'm not good managing the boss at Subang because I think I already do everything. I work 7 times 24. You promise me, but you don't give me. I have an anger, and it's not right.
Okay, guys, because we have like 3 minutes left. Any one last questions? No?
I think for me, so thank you Alvin for your share.
Thank you.
Your journey is such an inspiring for all of us as well. So, I mean, you started working at 21 or training, like you just graduated, and that was the first
22.
company, right? Wings that you.
Wings.
And I heard that was a risky position that I think you've been taking. But my question is, when it comes to leadership, how can you? What is the biggest challenge for you as a leader?
As a leader.
right? As a youth leader or as the youngest person in the
Yeah.
industry, and then you were, challenge that out. What is the biggest challenge, and how can you transform that to handle the situations?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is I cannot scold people. I cannot request help by, you have to follow me, you are wrong, cannot. What I have to do is, please help please help me sir, So the way of leadership at that time is more like influencing. I have to reduce all my ego, all my, again, even though we are right, I have to do it the other way around in order to get the support. And yeah, I think that's one. Second thing is, yeah, sometimes I also have to follow what the other wants, despite I think it's not the right, the most efficient things. So sometimes I have to show respect to them. I doing that not because it is right, but because I want to gain the respect.
Your main respect.
I have to gain the respect, then slowly I will communicate. Oh, maybe not like this, how about this? So it's not like being frontal, but it's like, yeah, try to become friends first, then slowly influencing. Slowly influencing. It takes time, but somehow it works.
Are you an objective person
Objective.
when it comes to job?
Yeah. I'm very result oriented. But if the result is not come, yeah, it's okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay. We already tried, right? So I will, maybe if the result is not that, I will try to re-evaluate again. What should I do better to make it better or faster?
My question, like, where you're a analyst, you're dealing with locals or even people who above ages, like maybe 40, and they will still have that kind of habit, stubbornness and everything. How can you, when you're saying that you were trying to be respect with them, you go to talk and communicate. What else?
The issue.
Yeah, as a young manager, for example.
Yeah, sometimes at that time I also very stubborn and hard to say sorry,
Okay.
because I think all my thinking is right. But now I think it's so much easier to say sorry to whatever level is, because yeah, in the end we do wrongs and we learn from it. And yeah, I think that's also one of the things happened before. I get complaint from several people that is very old, that is very experienced. Yeah, because I directly mentioning to them they are wrong, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I learned that way. I think able to say sorry, thank you, appreciate more. There are the three things that is hard to be done in the young age, but now it's very good, and it's good things also if someone doing to us, right? So it helps also when I do this that three words: sorry, thank you, and grateful.
So we should watch how we behave.
Yeah.
So Alvin, at the first you said that you were chasing experiences. In what age that you were realized that, oh, I should negotiate with numbers or salary? I mean, which company that has been interested you to
Okay, so first I always chasing. Okay lah. We have to communicate. We are looking for learning. Half right, half not right. For me, I'm focusing to communicate it. But in terms of negotiation, every time I move company, I will negotiate strongly. But a little bit different when I already have no job. Yeah, so what? Yeah, I'm just saying, just make it the same lah, boss. And somehow the boss give me more at some point. So if you are asking me, actually, when is the time? From the first, I already like that. But again, at some point, I also fair. I cannot demand anything if I don't able to contribute. So when I already starting in Sayap Mas Utama, Wings, I was having experience as biotechnology and working as supply chain. So I cannot request much, I think, because I also cannot ensure I can perform. Okay, but then moving on to the Johnson & Johnson, it's commercial, it's just business development. I already performed there. Now from there, I start to have trust on myself. If I move to another level, despite whatever the product, Ferrero, whatever, Ferrari, yeah, I believe I can sell and I can bring contribution to the company. That's the moment I can be very strict on the request I request, yeah. But when I come back to the category manager, another different background, it's like I don't feel confident to request more. Now, it's already 1 year, so I communicate again with my boss. I think I already perform more, even from the others. So yes, objectively also can say yes, you are. Then yeah, let's see the adjustment.